Yeah, get the thumbnail like you know the thumbnail.
That's me.
You gotta get the thumbnails too.
Time, didn't you? Yo, we gotta move with the time, you know. Hey, we live, yo. Which way you get?
You go ahead. Take it. All right, now you go right. No.
All right. Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come out to do what we do best, and it's prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. First and foremost, we turn to the east and give all praise, honor, glory to
Yahweh.
double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstones, shalom to the elect. All right. Hey, we see what's going on in the news and such, as far as DJ Trump. We see what's going on with inflation and different things, and we're constantly bringing it out because the power of this devil is coming down, and he's being revealed. And there's some condition the scripture say that he is, brought down into great shame as he will be. And one thing that that we must do is continue to push, continue to stay in the fight, continue to keep our minds on the outside. And every day is a day sooner or a day closer that we will be here. See the attitude of one of the people. It's getting to the point that it will be, as the scripture says, sedition among men. You know what I mean? It will be riots and so forth in the street. I just saw an article somewhere, I believe it was Japan, that had an earthquake and so forth. 7.5 on the on that earthquake scale and so forth. And then right after that, I saw that the HARP system is, we ought to know what HARP does as far as causing weather events and things like that. But it showed that it's coming out to the public that that's what's been confirmed could have possibly caused that. You know what I'm saying? And then the situation in Iran, where it's now raining over there because they're the Doppler and such was destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So we see that this devil is being exposed. You know what I mean? It's many years that people ain't had rain and shit doing, but as soon as the Doppler be destroyed, it's kind of funny how pretty much the floodgates over there, it's raining nonstop to the point they gotta figure out what they can do with all that water. But brother can start at
Yeah, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, starting at the top. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made."
The highest will begin to visit the world which he made. If you're not diligent in watching on your posts that you're supposed to, then blindsided just like 2/3 so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. You be blindsided like the heathens and such, man. Because you constantly immersed, constantly, you don't see what's going on. You still clubbing, you still, concerned about next year and different things of that nature. You got a 5-year plan and so forth, but hey, this thing may not even be here in 5 years. The gas is already at 420 or 436. So in 2 months, you might in 2 months you might be seeing $6 a gallon, man, if not sooner than that. It's constantly creeping up. You know how they do on weekends and holidays, they'll spike up anyway. So hey, it's starting to get hot. People coming outside more, you know what I'm saying? So hey, if you're constantly in that berth, you're gonna be wrapped up because you ain't even saving your money to make sure you get gas. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, having that summer vacation is over, man. The hot girl summer, all that summertime, and going on trips. You know what I mean? Like we just seen Spirit Airlines on the 13th. They're gonna be bankrupt.
So like Spirit, it was the low. That was like the short yellow bus for the airlines. You know what I mean? It's a wrap there. You better turn on that beach on the TV, lay out a cot, light a candle.
2/3. Hey, They don't have no power. They don't have no trust. You know what I mean? So it's going to be to a point that if you ain't got no type of hustle, man, you gonna have to have something just to sustain. You gonna have to have another form of income. You know, you got to the precept of
Con. This is the line back on what you said earlier. The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring power. Yeah, you know, I mean, because when you actually look at what's going on in the world, you know, they got storms in Middle America, earthquake just blew out there in the Philippines, you know, earthquakes all over the place happening at a higher and higher rate. You know, fires are going on in down there in Georgia, you know?
Yeah.
So all of these things are going on, and you know, of all these things that are happening, Jake isn't even considered, you know? It is just now that Jake is starting to look at how quick things are happening in the world. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. What's this, May 2nd? Here it is. We're already in May. May 3rd. May 3rd.
Damn.
April went by so quick. I don't even remember April. You know?
Yeah.
New Year's happened. You know what I'm saying? The Passover almost 2 months ago, a month and a half ago or something like that.
It feel like April Fool's was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Remember they do the little every April 1st? That felt like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now we're already in the next month. So
Yeah.
the Lord is definitely speeding the times up.
Yeah, kind of with these things happening, Jake ain't even considering that. You know? So, okay.
You know, I was gonna say real quick. You know why? A lot of Jake, they only pay attention to what's right in front of them.
That's right.
Jake ain't checking the news. Jake ain't opening their phone, going to CNN or whatever. You know what I mean? Not saying that's where we go to, but they don't do that. They only see what's going on right in front of them. So they're not even considering what might be happening in California. You know, they always got the little fires down the hills and stuff. You know what I mean? They don't even consider that. They don't consider things that might be happening in Florida if they live in Maryland or whatever. You know?
Yeah, right.
So they don't care. They don't consider.
Exactly. Because if it's not happening at his door, Jake don't care, but it's coming to your door. You know, here it is. They're talking about famines. They're talking about another pestilence. Well, all these pestilences are happening now, you know, because what's the big thing now that's being talked about? Another demic, fleas and ticks, you know, a food famine, economical collapse is on the table. Blackouts has now re-arrived on the table, you know, World War III, you know, so all of these things are taking place, and Jake, you know, is sitting back in bullshit.
Even with the food. People not peeping at how the food is increasing up.
Yeah.
Now think about everything that's going up. Gas, food, look what they're doing with the electricity bills.
Yeah.
Well, we working harder and harder. We barely come home, the electricity bill double price. But we not making any more money. We're still making what we're making. These people aren't considering, the food rising up. So important. Yeah.
That's why, hey, that's what we gotta guard to the Lord as much as possible, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know, at the end of the day, we know that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, gives us food, clothes, and raiment. You know what I'm saying? Everything is through the power of Hashem Yahushua. Yeah.
with the food and so forth, and you see vegetables looking cheap. That's all the what you see with your eye. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't worked in the warehouses or if, you know, like in them stores and different things, they know how to keep the people calm, but in the back they panic. You know what I'm saying? Because the higher ups, you know, the upper echelons and so forth, the ones you will never see, they know what's going on. If you see it in the public that you know, the past few years, the chicken houses, it's been numerous chicken houses set on fire. You know what I'm saying? Thousands of think about it, in the past 5 years, the past 5-10 years, how many chicken farms have been burnt down? I seen one video, it was a cattle ranch, and it was over 1,000 Angus cows dead. You know what I'm saying? Lined up. Yeah, over 1,000. That's just one farm. So you think one cow, there's that could be 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds of food, and you multiply that by 1,000.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So if those things happen in earlier years, that takes the storage out of being complete for this year.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? They're attacking the bees and different things like that, destroying the bee colonies, like the brother brought out. Gates, he created that whole deal with the ticks.
Mm-hmm.
He re-engineered the ticks so that if you get the mosquitoes as well, but the ticks specifically, if you get bit by the tick, ticks carry land disease.
Mm-hmm.
But this new innovative one that he's been, if you get bit by that tick, it causes meat allergies.
Mm.
Different things they call meat allergies. So they wanna get the people to eat bugs and all that type shit. They experimenting with different things. They going in Japan. They went into the sewer systems and they began to get the proteins from the feces and different things like that. They began making food with it. Yeah. So this devil, it's coming down with that great wrath, but it's going to lead you to taking the karma. But like Kyle Schwab said, you're gonna have nothing and be happy along those lines. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be happy eating a shit burger and boiled salads and all of that type of shit, man.
But like you said, boy, during hard times, like you said, that's gonna be a luxury, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said before, food is scarce, and think about how many people eat through. You know what I'm saying? Every day, every second, millions of people. And like you said, you know what I'm saying? How are they able to keep producing? You know what I'm saying? You keep producing food. And the animal, shortage, like you said, that's when they created, like you said, GMO and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like that Arby's sandwich, you know what I'm saying, that's famous right now. I'm like, you can tell that ain't even food, bro. It's like just slot, but like you said, but people eat it, like I said, Gordon.
And what's Arby's thing? We have meat. Yeah, what's in that damn meat?
Yeah, that's the question.
Genetically modified. Now they 3D printing shit. Like, yo,
people don't have the common sense to look and say, okay, America's all industrialized and it's all our cities. What's your fault? You go to, if you fly to a different country, you're going to see land, you're going to see farms, you're going to see cows. That's how they produce it. Natural food. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to go up Northern Virginia to see the few farms that are so or Southern Virginia, there's so called just a few farms that so. But this farms all over the place to produce natural food. Yeah. To your point, everything is monopolized and industrialized. So you can eat the Tyson chicken. It's a chick that was on TikTok exposing how she worked in the Tyson factory. The chicken is cancerous. Mm-hmm. It's all chemicals and bullshit. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of these restaurants get their meat from. A lot of these factories that produce that GMO food. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because to add on, you know what I'm saying, because you know what I'm saying. Me and my damn yesterday with one of them Mexican spots, and like she was able to tell, you know what I'm saying, from like Aztec compared to I've got the Mexican place called Las Plaza. Yeah, Plaza. It was like real Mexican food. Like you really taste the difference.
Oh yeah, I went.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, last time.
Yeah, that's I last night. You can tell difference.
When I went to California, that heavy Issaquah. I went to a real Mexican restaurant. You know what I mean? I went in there and we ordered that food. Compared to this shit we eat on this, it blows it out the water, man. You can just taste the freshness and the seasoning, the cilantro, but even the chicken, it tasted way better. And real quick, since we on that subject, I was talking to a dude I know in the world for years. I've known him a long time, and he eats straight organic. He doesn't eat meat, but he eats everything organic. And I was like, yeah. I said, your food bill be a lot more expensive, don't it? He was like, not really. He's like, not for real. He said, and this is what it stuck with me. He said, you either pay for it now or later. He said, yeah, I'll pay an extra $2, $3 to have real eggs or real whatever, rather than 20 years down the line, I'm paying for it in my health. You know what I mean? And that stuck with me. I said, you know what? Because we ain't got it like that. But if we got it to get that, like me and the brother just talking, we talking about the bread, the Killer Daves and all that. Yeah. You look at the ingredients, everything is a real ingredient. Right, but you go on the other stuff that they pump, old time, Nature's Own, Wonder Bread, bleach, Bible flavoring. I can't even pronounce this shit. You know.
No, some of the stuff you be saying, what the hell does that really mean?
You don't even know half of that shit be shit that they lay carpet down with or strip floors with this shit.
Methane.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Hey, buddy, I remember the one that you always told me about the Snapples. What's that N-word? Natural flavor.
Oh, yeah. That's his cheat code. That's how he get it. Yeah. What is that entail? Natural flavors.
But to Jay,
They even got a documentary about that alone, natural flavor. They got a documentary.
Natural doesn't always mean from the earth. It's supposed to go back to nature. But we know this man is not of nature. He said he naturally created it. And you don't know what it is.
Yeah, kind of. When you see natural flavors, they always have a percentage next to it.
Yeah, like
3%.
10% of
Yeah.
juice. Like, what's the rest of it? And shit, your boy talking about like with a diet. These niggas are so far gone from a healthy diet. You don't even have to go on shopping Whole Foods or shopping. Just eat with the Lord. Just start eating more food. Start incorporating your kale. Start eating more of your beans. Start eating more of your grains, your true grain. You don't have to completely just go to a fucking full throttle organic lifestyle. Start eating shit that actually puts the nutrients back in your body. You were made from
stay home and cook.
But a simple nigga say, "Oh, I got a fucking nigga." He puts you in your body. The nutrients that you find in food. They teach us that in school. You gotta have it. You got shoulder pain, joint pain. A lot of that comes from certain vitamins and minerals that you're deficient in. That's how the body works. The Lord created a natural order there. And if something's out of place, out of order, you put something on the earth to correct it, balance it back.
Herbs and everything.
But each thing is in balance. That's why everything's acidic and everything's all detrimental to your health system. He wants to keep you off balance. And that acidic environment causes disease.
And again, I just want to say one thing, and that's why the elites made the pharmaceutical industry for to take all the natural herbs out, put all the like you said, the pharmacy.
Yeah, that's Rockefeller. Rockefeller banned the holistic because before the pharmaceutical company, everything was natural.
Yeah.
Now they call it holistic, but back then it was just regular medicine.
Yeah, right. That's what we did.
Yeah, but Rockefeller, what you know is they came through and physically shadow banned.
Yeah.
That increased the sales of the pesticides too, because a lot of people don't know. Going, yesteryear, we go outside and get dandelions and different, mix herbs and different things out of your yard. Wild onions and different things like that.
They told you it was weed.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. We was told to get rid of it.
Going back to your point about Rockefeller, what they did was they got rid of a lot of the holistic doctors and herbalists. They called them witches. Yeah, they said it was practice sorcery, and they demonized it. They used their media because the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, they also bought out media. So they would put in newspapers those herbalists and holistic people, witches, warlocks, stay away from them, come to the pharmaceuticals, get real medicine. That's what boosted the pharmaceuticals. And then they pushed their media and money on it. So today, I want to make a deliverance. Every other house is getting pills. Listen, insane. And I did a research study. Guess what's the number one country in drug in the whole world? Babylon.
You see what they did to Dr. Sebi, son, right?
Yeah.
They tried to lock Sebi up, and he proved his case. I don't know, but they gave his son years of prison time just for curing people.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that's about to happen that it really hasn't hit people yet, because with the Strait of Hormuz closed, and
Say again. I'm sorry.
with the Straits of Hormuz closed right now, or over the past few months, what's happening is the pharmaceutical industry isn't getting the petroleum it needs to make this drug, because all of the drugs are petroleum based. So now you're about to see a shortage in that. So all these people who are on high blood pressure meds, schizophrenia meds,
They're wigging out. They about to wig out. They about to wig out.
But to land back on what you're saying, there's an herb for everything. There's an herb for every ailment. There's an herb for every condition that you may have. But the people have been destroyed in such a bad way that they don't know these things.
Yeah.
They don't understand that the land back on what Zabak was saying, that, the weeds or the plants that they were calling weeds were actually beneficial for you. The dandelions, which is a diuretic, natural. You know what I'm saying?
Each piece of the dandelion can be consumed.
Yes, sir.
Not just the flower, the actual stalk,
Yeah.
with the part, the roots, all that. You can make a tea out of the roots that's
Yeah.
going to benefit you. You know what I mean? But look how this devil done lied to us. Oh, get those out your yard. Well, when we was kids, some houses had a yard full of them shit. You know what I mean? We could save those, did something with that. You know what I mean?
Go back to
Yeah,
the
but
first
now,
one second.
no.
No.
But now, this devil told you to get rid of these weeds, and now you done spray shit on your lawn
Kill it.
that these weeds will never grow back, or these herbs will never grow back. So now
Barely seen
you're assed out. Yeah, right. I bet you them shits won't be there tomorrow.
it.
But it's getting to the point where the land is so fucked up that even if you wanted to grow your own garden, you can't.
So it's full strength. We're just speaking about this, the earth building is strength. And part of the reason of that, the condition that we're in is we have to be sovereign. We need our own kingdom. See, when your parents are being taught by the enemy, they taught them Fox News, and CNN, and Ricky Lake, or Oprah, daytime shows, the 90s. And they've been indulging because, they would have Richard Lake and these chef ladies telling you about what they go through. They would go into all different type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's how they got their living. So, they want to talk about herbs. They want to talk about true medicine. They want to talk about how to raise women and raise children. And see the end result. The end result today is you saw us destroy this as a nation. And you look at the young men, they can look at version for nothing and not even look that. I was watching a crime video. These two Jakes, brother, got and sit him in the neighborhood. So brother calls me and the dude almost hit me in the car. Brother comes out, this kid's he was 20 years old. They got him in an interrogation. Yeah, emotional scream. You put your root. Yeah, me. Like you can get eradicated. They can't really rehabilitate that, man. And I'm looking at that. He saw the interrogator. I'm like, see why he's so calling niggas. His names and shit. Snatch that emotional woman spirit on him. Noticing fucking body, man.
Yeah, talking about just talking about that. Then it's just emotions.
Yeah, and what we were saying in the car is, it's good to know that you have these flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what you supposed to do after that?
Yeah.
Work on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Jake ain't trying to work on it. They just like, this me. Accept it. Nah, because look what happened. I just seen a video where a girl, and that's another thing, these females with this spirit of they could take on men. She running up on the dude past, start yelling, oh, I'm gonna get my brother. Yell to get a brother. Brother come around the corner, dude get out of the car.
Yeah.
Up the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's over.
There's no wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to fucking think a situation out. He's running in haste. Think about that. You don't know what they got. Like I said last week, the dude he was busting a chick car with a hammer and you said, yes, people born. You know, what's the best of this thing? This princess is fucking white. What was over back to that show in Pittsburgh. Rich killed off the weekend. We got to get 2 birds.
Yeah.
Fuck you. We know we got niggas that are fucking broke. I hate you. These niggas every day. Walking, these niggas on the corner doing nothing, bro. Just
Nah, for real. Yeah.
driving cars with no plates on it around the neighborhood. And I know these niggas live. I know you don't live in this part. He's trying to do, looking for submission. Idleness, bus idleness, dude. These niggas is taking cars with no plates on it.
Meaning they got to run a drill. If they ain't got no place on that, when they finish doing what they got to do, they can get away. You can't write no plate number down if they ain't got no plate. Another thing that bothers me, I can cut you with them. That damn shiesty man shit, man. That shit makes my antennas go up. I don't care how little this dude looks. Because when we was coming up, somebody had a damn mask on. They gonna go do something. You know what I mean? And now COVID, of course, was the reason for that. But now you see 3 Jakes in the damn convenience store like this, not even buying them, but they ski masked up, man. That shit, like somebody said,
They don't
things gotta
want
go.
they don't want to work for nothing to have their name. Like I get it, we in captivity, but nigga, make some of yourself. Like do something
Right.
that fulfills you. They don't want to do any fucking thing, and that's a result of Esau beating us down, and the result of these women raising these children and these single parents. But it's no excuse. You can't excuse that. You gotta get rid of that because we can't build a fruit formation. But
Yeah.
the Lord said He wants to be waiting to the precious fruit rise up and the pluck out of the harvest and build the kingdom of them. It's too much rotten fruit in the kingdom. That's why the grass and tree is spoken about. You grass it in, the ability to get that result because the branches are broken off.
Wow.
Yeah, the branches that were broken off, all these wild, they gotta go, man. The ones that said, let Yahweh's blood be upon us and our children, let us be first. Well, now you look at every major inner city, the projects, you live in the door. Literally, you step out the door, your next door neighbor door is right here. You're supposed to live, that's the
Yeah, people say long.
niggas get shot across the street. Everybody feet ashy, everybody breath stink, everybody broken, dirty. You've been across because you said that Yahweh's blood.
That's about the fruit. You know, it's crazy. I just bought a bag of onions the other day, right? I didn't pay attention. It's real important when you get your fruit and vegetables to go through them, right? You don't want to get nothing bad. I rushed. One of the onions was bad, right? So I put it in a bag, throw it where I put my vegetables. 2 days later, I start smelling something, right? What the fuck is that smell? So I grabbed the bag of onions, I opened it. One was rotted, but it was next to ones that weren't rotted. That's what the good ones were. In 2 days, like majority of my onions was rotted. So that's why you gotta weed out the bad fruit from the good fruit. You know what I mean?
That's a beautiful point. You know, it's just like if you got an infection in the body,
Yeah,
you gotta take it out because it'll affect the rest of you. You got a body food, you gotta handle that when it'll affect the rest. You know?
Right, that training is better, right?
Yeah. The ability that grass is from there's one in Romans and one in Isaiah. Yeah, you want the one in Romans? That's what I'm at right now. So, 16. It's Romans 11 and 16. It says, "For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy, and if the root be holy, so are the branches." See, the root has to be holy. So the foundation is the truth that we got from the Yahweh Shah that was put on our elders as down the earth. That's the root, the foundation. So when you birth from that root, what's gonna sprout up? Good fruit. So you have to come in as a new baby, taught this precious fruit, this precious fruit, be raised up. Any nigga that comes up don't want to be taught this. He has to be treated as a youth. Go ahead, brother. Continue on, verse 17, it says, "And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee." Yeah, Isaiah calls Israel a good olive tree. You know, going into the history, we all know that we have the Israelites that were so beholden to the law, but they were corrupted, they were wicked in the flesh, the inside spirit, they were wicked. But you had the Israelites that didn't know they were Israelites. They had more around the ones that were keeping the law. They have more stints and more humility. And what's the point of boasting? It's just like if a brother comes to this truth, boasting how long he's been out on the highway, how much scriptures he's going to memorize. But in your insides, you're corrupted and wicked. It's like the Lord will just break you off from this and bring in somebody else who don't know as much as you, who will come in at the last hour but it's going to see the same concept. When the world wants to try to innovate, you know, that's what it's all about. It's not about the hour, man. Anybody can pull in the garden. You've seen every step of the time. Well, anybody can put down.
Anybody can say this by screen. All that know the names and go back to 1 West, break down the Hebrew, sight off the top of the head, go to the 12-time chart, be corrupted in the inside. Oh, we want to try to import. Go ahead, y'all.
I got precept. The book of Isaiah, and this is the landmark of you, buddy. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 19. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee?
You got the Iranians, which fuck y'all, because it is y'all got the audacity to ask America for reparations, but y'all ain't nobody gonna speak up for what happened to the Israelites. See, now the UN came out and said that what happened to the Negroes is the greatest crime on the face of humanity. Yeah, here it is, you got the Iranians that asking for reparations to America.
Yeah,
that's the audacity of spitting in our face. Yeah, we know what happened to y'all is worse than anything that happened to any of us. But we gonna still ask for reparations on our behalf because we're concerned with the Persian part. Okay. Fuck y'all. Yeah, we know we had y'all in Texas. So fuck y'all. Fuck your streets. Fuck your OPEC or fuck all your meetings, your backdoor deals. They playing right now, they working hand in hand. All of them are together to bring in all this new system. That's why Iran is charging crypto to come to the street. It's all about them weakening their own economy so they can bring in a new system right now. They're not really foreign like that right now. When real war happens, you're gonna see the fucking big war planes in this. The draft is coming. So we gonna probably around next year when this shit really gonna fucking kick off the way it's really supposed to kick off. You know, but right now they playing that they joining hands to bring in the new system. That's why they hold peace talks. No peace talks. They playing expedient. We gonna ceasefire for 10 days. We're gonna stop bombing each other for 10 days. Nobody even talks in meeting rooms when it's real war. Right? But what they're doing, what they have done in the meantime is training economy go. Because here just close the strait, but then we're gonna stop bombing. Right? There's still the last of the best is gonna happen. That's why you say gas is 420. You just now seeing it from what's the strait being closed. No, and you're gonna start seeing more of these things as long as this stuff keeps going on. So fuck the other nations, man. We don't care about y'all. We care about our people. Y'all care about y'all. That's why it's good to be racist.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Always awesome, but you got to choose your race or somebody else. Which race would you choose? Obviously, you're gonna choose your own race.
That's right. It's a show Netflix. I just got into it. I'm on episode 3. I ain't really get a chance, but it's called Father, and it's about the Iranians and the Israelis going at it. But it's amazing. Like it's in the Hebrew scene. They Hebrew. I'm sorry, got subtitles, but it's like an action. It's every Christian basically her husband she was about to get married, and he's really sitting in one of the CIA officers trying to catch this guy. They've been trying to catch this, been blowing up everything. His brother is about to get married, and they think he's gonna be there. So you go into China, you can't find him. Look at puts on shoots his brother. The guy they trying to catch, the brother. But he was getting married, he was at his wedding, so a wife seen him, and she's distraught. So she joins fucking bringing terrorists. She goes, they back to the nation. I don't build no more. I'm joining the terrorist schools with a bomb in her purse. She goes to the club. The guy that shot her husband and me. But his girlfriend, she goes sit at the bar. She's crying. Everybody's club. It shows you what's going on. This is shit that's happening on ground. See, the elites, they own it. Trash it, every day they're going to take protections. Families, lives, and but it's all for their. That's the point. It's all for their enterprise and what they do. So how much more us? They blowing each other up for what they believe, man. I love it now.
Oh, I just want to say one quick thing. That another thing with America is the play on words. It's new speech. So when you hear racist, you think negative. But think about the root word is race. What's that called? The back word is ist. So when you're a Florida, Yeah, when you're a florist, you're into the flowers. If you're a bicyclist, right? There's not, you don't think negative. But when you hear racist, oh no. Nah, it's a play on words because a racist just mean you're pro your race. You know what I mean?
The scriptures say that everyone should return to his life.
Yeah, kind of weird. That's weird.
You know? So, I mean, the scriptures tell you that there's racism in it, you know? But they don't want to hear that.
Yeah, unless you Michael Jackson, if that's what you want to be around your Unless you get that sickness he had, you want to be an Edomite and a doctor, you might he's around Edomite, he had Elizabeth Taylor ass and all these people in Hollywood. It's weird shit, but the Lord, an average person, yeah, weird. But the average person wants to be around their people. You know, I get around the Edomite, I can't play the type of Marvin Gaye or the type of shit we grew up listening to. They can't feel it how we feel it. Over on the sides. They don't know nothing. They don't know about going to outside to the tree, pulling a branch off, and they pull the switch. Grandma finna put no whips on your leg. You don't know nothing.
No timing.
No, it's a different. But when I get up, I can speak about that. It's a code. It's slang. Jake, Esau's language is. Give me a term. Isn't that, you know, we're changing it to ain't that something. You know, we'll change that to that.
Yeah.
Isn't to ain't.
This is a bummer.
Yeah.
But we understand the lingo. We understand the slang. Everybody returning to that car.
I know you got a precept, but it just made me think of there was an Edomite that went on made a video.
Yeah.
So I got a black neighbor and they invited me over for a cookout. He said, I can't wait. I want to show him my potato salad. So he said he put everything in it. He said, yeah. He said, that's my famous potato salad. He named all type of decent stuff. Then I put some raisins in it. And let me tell you, it must have been good because as soon as I gave it to him, it was gone. Raisins and no potato salad. Yeah, look. You know, you push that. But yeah, like I'm saying, the language, and it's not just the so-called black people, because you could kick it with a Judite could kick it with a daggone Ephraimite and still have that same rhythm.
Filipino.
Yeah, if you're a Jake, yeah.
Movies with Judah was cross gang, it was understanding.
Yeah.
That's why Reuben allowed Judah basically what's the word I'm looking for? Refuge in Florida.
Yeah.
When they was fleeing Esau, they said, made them cheese on. It was an understanding. It's an understanding. Even here in America, when you go to the swamps, that was gang going through the computer, teach them the whereabouts and the language. They were off of the city.
Yeah. They call them maroons.
Yeah, maroons. You can't trust them people with all shit on. Everything breaks down. You gotta be worried your own people, let alone a person that's another nation. All you do is say, love everybody, love that. I want to see that love applied. You don't know what the next piece of bread for. So you gonna run to Edomite and say, we not supposed to love. Yeah, for the try to eat you.
Dave ain't gonna be so nice like he was when you come out your house every morning and greet him. You know, the paper boy might throw his paper on Dave's neighbor on his front step. Hey. Tell him come see how he at.
Big ass small talk. What's this one? He met him with the gun on the port.
Yeah.
Damn times, nigga. Shit over with. Yeah, just like that. You thought it was still neighbor time. The neighbors switched just like that. Pull your ass the fuck up. He protecting his foot.
And you gotta remember, this is Guy's kingdom, so he has access to things that Jake don't have access to. The whole time he, hey neighbor, this and that. His whole basement full of doomsday shit.
Nigga, Rogers, bro. When I go to these neighborhoods, nigga, Rogers. So build shit to hold shit for the shit that you build. That's trust, and they don't work. These niggas don't got jobs. They in the garage.
They got a welder's mask. They welding.
These are well built things. Like these are well built things.
See, but they've got an understanding amongst each other too, that it's them against the world. You know what I'm saying? So when one Edomite do something, he's not doing it just for himself. He's doing it for him and his community. You know what I'm saying? Because when you sit back and you listen, you know what I'm saying, to E, he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I got this, but I also got this for who's ever with me. You know what I'm saying? So they've got this mentality of sticking together when shit hits the fan.
Shit, you got some of the neighborhoods. This how you know
To tell neighborhoods where they actually communicate with each other. Because there's certain neighborhoods where you get to, like, you go into their cul-de-sac, on the corner it might be a bookshelf. You know what I'm saying? Like an outside where they got books, you can just grab a book and read and take it. That means that the kids' parents are actually having conversations.
I see that a lot.
Like outside.
Yeah,
Right on the
you won't even see that in JP.
Nah, they do that shit. The door hanging off.
But I talked to an Edomite lady. Edomite lady. She told me she's the head of the civic league in the neighborhood. She came to me and she was like, you know them Hispanics that live over there? How many of them live over there? Say something. I was living in the neighborhood. I don't tell her that. I see them coming and going all the time. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I'm in there.
Yeah, she's gonna play that.
I'm looking out for them. I know it's like 20 of them. Esau has that, to your point, bro, where they'll smile in their face. Yeah. Hey, Tyrone, they go to civic meeting at night. Nigga, we need to get this person on this office, this, that. They talk about these things.
Yeah.
They ain't got no fucking civic. So,
Yeah.
they talk about the fire department.
Yeah.
Is eating lunch with the police department. The police department is eating lunch with the doctor. The doctor is eating lunch with the judge. It goes all lunch. Everybody at City of Chesapeake,
Yeah.
City Hall,
Yeah.
they all eat lunch together.
Yeah.
They all talk about shoot pool together, golf together. Jake in the park there.
That's why they be upset every time they go to the beach. You know, some big explosives of like some of them know, especially in Norfolk. You know, we know that you guys we voted for you. You know, we're gonna vote you out of here. You know, so we know what you're doing. You know, I mean, some people actually vote. You know, what I'm saying, be bold enough to stand in front of the council and actually say that shit in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
Then look,
that's not for our people.
they all got their own relationship. Don't Jake have a strife with one of them? Let's say somebody got in an argument that has a position in City Hall, but they eating with the police officers, you know, and they bring up your name and he drives that such and such. Now you gotta worry about the police following you and fucking with you, you know what I mean? Because they're all in cahoots with you. You know, just watching. Yeah,
like if you
be at the bar chilling, he watching you and shit.
Yeah. If you take the police on a chase right now, and they ain't able to catch you with the spikes, whatever, and get out of their district. They sit in that call to the back, and we need help. Oh, they might talk shit. Oh, y'all need our help. Well, yeah, they out of our district. They'll tell you where they went to, and that's police department now. Yeah, they don't take up that trace. So you don't think they're ready, yo. Yeah, this county. That county is about to be with.
Yeah.
Bro, I was being chased from Richmond. To Zion Crossroads, going towards Charlotte.
Police chase.
Going towards Charlotte. I didn't know it was a fucking police chase. The cop was behind me, but he didn't have his beams on. I thought it was one of the type of shits where, we racing to get to nowhere. Huh? Yeah. I'm thinking we racing to get to nowhere.
Yeah.
So the cop was like on my ass.
Yeah.
But he was so close to me, I couldn't see the hood of his car. So I thought it was like SUV to SUV. Fuck it, I'll take the lead. So I'm going. So I get up at Zion Crossroads going towards Charlottesville, and I'm met there by state troopers blocking the intersection. State troopers and local law enforcement. So I pull over and say, yo, what the fuck is this? So I pull over,
Weapons drawn.
I didn't realize what it was until I hit Zion Crossroad and that cop pulled back a little bit. Then I was able to see the top of his foot. I'm like, okay, this is for me. So I get out, you know what I'm saying? I pull over. Now I leave my wallet in the car, I leave my paycheck in the car, I leave everything in the car. So I get out. Either my cops, they were pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? They was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I need you to get out the car. So I get out the car. Now they're surrounding me. They surrounded me. And the cop that was following me, he was from Lynchburg.
Dang.
Different county.
A different county. To land back on what you said. He was from Lynchburg. So the cops are standing in the cipher. I'm in the middle of this fucking cipher. And the one cop looked at the cop who was following me and was like, all right, so what do you want to do? You want to let him go? Because they ran my record. It was clean. You want to let him go or you want to press charges? Fucking either my cop was like, I want to press charges.
Just
Yeah, well, this is on a Friday. They locked me up. Remember, I said I left my wallet in the car and all that shit. So the magistrate came. I had no idea nothing because I left it in the car. My car got towed. So I spent the whole weekend in jail.
Dang.
I kept having to go back to court, and every time I went back to court, that cop never showed up. So it eventually got thrown out. But still, to prove, to land back on your point, they look out for each other. You know, what do you want to do? Well, you give this motherfucker authority to make the decision on what he want to do, press charges or not.
you know, eating with each other, they all of that shit, man. You watch them out. I drive by certain police departments throughout the day and I see them go to like these reserve buildings when they had it in real set. This shit and all that. This is the past. We're left out of everything in the big secret society at the top. Yeah, the small organizations at the bottom, we're left out of all. The hospitals are small secret society. They will deny you health care based on what their top leaders say. They'll bring your files, all of that shit, man.
Bro, when I was in the hospital, when your bros came to see me and I was in the hospital, I was being watched in the hospital.
Oh, when we left,
Huh?
they was, bro, when we left out of your room, the chicks was looking, they were looking at it. That's when we could, we serviced their brother.
Yeah.
And we was doing prayers with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then we walked out of
Yeah. They survived. God, I was being watched in the hospital. So, and that too is to land back on what you're saying. Even at a low level, we don't. You go to the hospital, and as a matter of fact, when I was leaving the hospital, fucking Jake woman was like, "You want me to throw up prayers for you?" No, I don't want your Christianity. I'm good.
And if you want to like transfer to the hospital, they'll call that hospital. Somebody let their daughter, hey, Tom, and say, patient, got room for this patient. I have here to the hospital. I don't got room. You have to call bills. It's always a whole.
Yeah. And I heard that certain hospitals, I forgot, you ever see like critically injured or something like that in your deathbed, some of them will actually kill you.
Bro, I don't understand
Some of these hospitals, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They made, they made, whatever, tranquilize or some stuff like that.
Death is nothing to them.
Bro,
they know to.
I don't understand the treatment of it.
That's instead of, putting resources on the person that's about to die, whatever, they're just like, they just put them
They'll do it without you to say.
No. I don't understand the treatment back then because doctors would specifically come to the room to talk to me. I never had that shit before. Normally, the doctors would be like, well, you got this problem, blah, 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 and leave. Nah, these doctors would come to the room and talk to me. So do you don't know what's going on? No, do you? No. So you know what caused this? No, I have no idea what caused it. What have you done? No, what did you find out? It's crazy.
You want to get you go.
John, bro, I just want to land back on what the brother was saying about the police. It's all that makes sonic orders and different things.
Yeah.
Because they're here to protect the assets of the bankers. You know what I'm saying? The banking families and so as well as the population. So it's called the National Fraternity of Police, Order of Police. it says their structures as the organization operates through local lodges. And what I'm saying, they'll go to certain buildings and different things. It says state lodges and a national grand lodge. So they pretty much it's just a order of masonry and so forth. You know what I mean? And that's where they get their orders. Every organization is based off of paperwork, orders, documents, how to run the company, how to run the organization, created from old racist information back. Everything you see today. And we live in, and it goes back to what you said about the curses. Lord made sure he saw as a whole system of systems within systems that you have to work on it to survive. Whether you have to go to food, clothing, for the one of all things, health, is subject to him. You know, the court, you know, man, look, the fact you gotta drive around with a fucking, you gotta register your vehicle just to drive. Yeah. That's this oppression at its finest.
And if you don't do it, especially certain states, you can actually get locked up for that. You know what I'm saying? I check Google AI, it says what happens if you don't drive? You know what I'm saying? If you don't have insurance or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get a huge ass fine.
You don't pay them. Your ass might have to go to the city. They don't put a stop on your registration. Now you gotta go to the city. Talk to them, just talk to them, and then they let them take. It's a system created by them to further oppress us, and even their own people. You know what I'm saying? It's monopolized for their own people too. You know, if you're not a part of those families that are looking outside of the whole system, you're subject to it too.
Yeah, like
And this all starting to find that out. That's why he's starting to cry on TikTok, because he's learning what the fuck. Why are we going through the same shit niggas is going through? With COVID, that's really what it's about. We should be suffering the same thing niggas are suffering.
Good.
I got pretty
Yeah, I got a precept too. You want to give honest real quick? It's real quick.
Okay.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are physicians of no value." Man. You know what I'm saying? There's no value. They said, you know, the physicians, the doctors, the lawyers, the governments are not really here for our people, man. You know what I'm saying? They're here to what? Oppress the people. And that's what the scripture says, Ecclesiastes 7:9, oppression maketh a wise man mad. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it goes back to the curses and, you know, being captive in our enemies. You know, we got to get rid of that. And so y'all watching me try to come back, take those curses out and redeem us. Get the hell up out of here. So report, you got it.
They said women can buy soda, candy, and something else that they snap and stop to. So candy, so many junk food, junk food. I'm like, hey, finally they did this. But even that is like you can find out what they say. We got some food to us really coming. I'm gonna be able to buy what they take.
Yeah, you can't get what's that? You can't get hot food.
Yeah.
So what the Steve used to do was they say they got like 5 kids, they get that like $1,000, $1,200. They go straight to the cold section and buy a whole bunch of crab legs, but get the cold ones. Can't get them steamed. You know what I mean?
Another thing that we would do, they would get all these food stamps and go and buy a whole bunch of products and create side businesses based off of the shit that they bought. Next thing you know, the 1st and the 15th, Evie's out here creating a new market on, you know, like burgers and chocolate sandwiches on the side.
She's like the candy lady.
I remember
selling plates and shit.
You gotta say, I know you've been holding something for a long time.
Oh yeah, it's coming. And this is just to wrap up Isaiah 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted; they lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in the net. You know, and this is just to land back on what the body was saying as far as, you know, we're not a part of any of this shit, you know what I'm saying? But we are a part of their money-making schemes. Yeah, right, you know.
We have, even though we know what we know, we still gotta abide by Esau's, you know, like you said, even with the hospital. Yeah, we know the things that are heal us, but sometimes we still gotta go to this man, you know, for one of, so you don't want to do it. Like we don't want to go have to have surgeries and, you know what I mean? But sometimes you have to, you know what I mean? You know, until the Lord opens our knowledge to the everything, you know what I mean? And that's going to be in the kingdom.
So my question proposed is, we're not a part of your system. Oh, shit, you want to finish with us and when the Lord gets us again.
Nah, but everybody's gonna make it. Everybody's gonna be in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on the same level though.
It's gonna be servicing handmaids.
It don't make sense. If you don't believe it on not gonna get a kingdom, don't fight us on the fact that when we say to get a kingdom that you're gonna be in it with us.
That was a long time ago. Forget about what you did.
It's a bullshit. A long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Now, Adam and Eve is a long time ago. Us, Jim Crow was my great grandfather still living in Egypt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those discussing dates out and that's still is.
My brother is still living. Oh, on the fall in South Carolina.
Hey, Apostle Ramla brought out that one state, I forget, damn, I wish I remember what state, legally did not stop slavery until the 90s.
Yeah.
To the 1990s, there's a state, it's a southern state, I can't remember, was it Mississippi? I don't remember. But he looked it up and said legally, like 1990 something.
In Mississippi, because when we went to Mississippi, bro, I remember we had to go to Mississippi. Me and my parents went to Mississippi, going back to see my uncle and aunt. Oh, we had to call for direction, but we felt like a stick.
He ready to do something.
Like, he didn't want to tell us shit. Like, you know, it gave us the wrong direction, but it was like he was like,
so we don't want to hear that this shit was a long time ago. Like that movie Alice, even though it's a fictitious movie, if he had the power to do that shit, because look, they've been free, but they never left their plantation, so they think they still subject to mass. Remember, she ran out, and then the motherfucker out and driving with a tractor trailer, he working and shit. You know what I mean? So she think that this is amazing. It's been years. If he had control, because we're still subject, but if he could physically do that to us right now, he would.
Shit,
That's the whole point of
just recently.
didn't realize that so-called slavery had been a problem.
because why would the owner on a plantation tell slaves that you can't even read it right, but he gonna tell you that all and saying, I gotta let y'all free. This nigga gotta tell you, shit, you gonna keep you there for the next 50, 100 years. So possible.
At Walmart shopping.
You know, someone like that woman
Go back.
with the peas.
It work. You might have one slave, he didn't have to go work to another place. You find out.
Be like Damon Wayans and that skit. Hey, slavery is over. Oh,
But even slavery ended though, like I said, a lot of Jakes didn't know, had nowhere to go.
Right.
You know, that's why they created strikes.
When they gave you jobs, it was just slavery because they would allow you back on the plantation to work, quote unquote, to work, and then you paying you shit. So you were still in slavery after that. And then you get Jim Crow. The Jim Crow era, which some will argue the Jim Crow era was worse than actual plantation slavery. Because you had no assurance of your safety. You could walk and just fucking they showed them that movie with Samuel L. Jackson. With the girl, she walking home with you.
That was a
She not even that's the type of shit that happened on the radio. So someone argued that Jim Crow was worse than actual fact. So this is what it was wrong. Even now, the only reason we're able to do this is because the Lord is lifting the mercy up of the curses off of us a little bit to show us mercy. So I can teach
It went from officer to overseer. I mean, overseer to officer. So I did. Oh, you're about to say that. Because look, say there's a Jake walking down the street, and maybe a block up is a Edomite girl walking up the street. Some Jake want to make it just because of that, man. You know what I mean? Oh, he whistled at her or something. You know what I mean? The Patty come, and they do what they feel like doing.
Black Wall Street because of that.
Remember the movie Life? I mean, this is fictitious things, but Esau killed old boy.
Yeah.
And they put it on him and gave them life. You know what I'm saying? That shit really happened.
The Black Wall Street is because they said he whistled at the chicken, not whistled, but he talked to the chicken elevator. Some guys who read my chicken elevator.
Black Wall Street?
No,
I mean Emmett Till.
Emmett Till.
That was Emmett Till.
No, not whistle. Black Wall Street It started
Tulsa,
because
Oklahoma?
Tulsa, Oklahoma started because of Jake went to work on the other side, said he was in the elevator with an Edomite chick. He talked to him. So the guys, they went and caused the railroad track and started bombing the town of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not Wilson. Wilson was the Emmett shit. But the reason why Tulsa, Oklahoma started was because
A conversation.
of the Edomite chick. The same thing.
And like you said, somebody awesome.
They didn't just go bomb Tulsa for just a bomb it. It was based off of Edomite chick. Saying they said Jake was something.
They were looking for a reason to
Yeah.
because you gotta realize Tulsa, Oklahoma was a whole bunch of Jake doctors. They had their own planes, you know what I mean? They had everything. They didn't have work for Esau at all. So that was looking for a reason to fuck that shit up.
Yeah, like you said.
Black Wall Street in Carolina.
It was plenty of Black Wall Street called.
Yeah. Like you said, some Edomites just wanted to go there and just wreak havoc, and they did.
But that's the spirit they had to this day. You know, that's why Esau got that nosy spirit. When it's a group of Jake, like let Esau come here, they, you know what I mean? Just you see a group of Jake around, you know what I mean? That's the spirit they had.
See, that's a beautiful thing though, because with your YN Jakes, they're quick to jump on them, you know, to see what they're doing. But with this is going on, you don't see Edomites walking up like that. You know?
Yeah.
They'd rather go after the YN.
And they want to tarnish our image based off of that, as if they're not the leader in drug usage, crime, murder, and debauchery, and cuckold and sex, pedophilia, bestiality. You're the leader in every wickedness in America and on the face of this planet. But you'll see the low levels of our people twerking and selling
And they're
a
gonna
dime
push
bag
that.
on the corner, and you want to make that the image of our people. When your people are allowed the biggest drug lords, Pablo Escobar was able to build tunnels from Mexico to America because of the government opening. The cocaine cowboys in Miami was able to do what they did, smuggling on fucking boats because of the government paying off judges and the police.
Italian.
Pablo Escobar was able to do what he did. The Cali cartel was able to do what they did. Yeah, and Pablo Escobar's sons right now, they caught one of them, but right now the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico, some of his sons are right now ruling it. They the drug kingpins in the world. They can't find it. Why are they still able to do it? The government,
Freeway Ricky Road.
and they said Pablo Escobar drugs is the reason why Chicago was the way it became. Because the drugs that he was funding was hitting Chicago hard, and the gangs was able to take it and sell it.
The show Snowfall is based on Freeway Ricky Ross. That's all. Rick Ross, the original one we're talking about, the rapper. He even said he didn't even know he was getting supplied by the government. For years, he didn't know that. The government was supplying him. His plug was a government informant. Like, he worked for them. You know what I mean? So they said Rick Ross on the West Coast, it was like an 80% chance that whatever drugs you was buying was from him. So that's coming from the government. And then on the east, what's my man name from Blow? The guy who played Blow, the real dude, the real dude. He was from like I forget where he was from, but Miami and all that. They said it even in the movie. It was like a 4 to 5 chance that if you bought cocaine from that time, it was coming from Boston George. That's the name. It came from him. But this was all government shit. But they want to put us as the bad guy. You know what I mean?
They're the biggest consumers of drugs and the biggest suppliers of drugs. And that's on a high skill level from corporation, from the food and pharmaceutical company, to a low skill level, the coke, the fentanyls, the perks, all of that. You're the biggest supplier and the biggest consumer.
Yo, and for brothers that know, I know brothers that my age up, they know about the Reagan era. Ronald Reagan would just say no, there's Reagan. But what was he doing with Noriega? Yeah, he was getting the work from Noriega, Emmanuel Noriega, the whole time. But he's saying drugs, crack down on the neighborhoods of drugs. Remember they scrambled, this is your brain on drugs, remember that? You know what I mean? This is what they was pushing, why they were bringing the shit in, yo, you know what I mean? But they made so-called Puerto Ricans and Negroes, it looked like y'all was the ones that was causing this shit.
And simultaneously destroying the projects that they created for the liberty. Because going back to the housing situation where Jake was allowed to start moving in the neighborhoods, the red line district. So now wherever Jake would move into, they would value the neighborhood And Esau will move out. That's why Compton became what Compton became in the 90s.
Yeah.
Compton used to be an upscale neighborhood.
Yeah, sure.
They came in, so they devalued it, and then they pushed in drugs and pushed in gang culture to make to make the projects what it is today. The slums. It didn't start off like that because we came off the plantations. We had nowhere to go. When we were able to start living in neighborhoods, they created the environment it is today.
What was that show we was watching where they showed the first black family moving to Compton?
Oh yeah,
Something like
no, us.
Yeah.
Show us.
Remember, and I seen the documentary. It was none but Esau, very pretty. Because if you look at Compton, to this day, it still don't look bad. It looks like a suburban area. It got the palm trees. It got a whole bunch of ranch style houses. I mean, of course, they got projects now, but overall, that's how it looked. And in that movie, Us, remember, the family moved in and they hate from the rip. You know what I mean?
That's what every major ghetto they did that, man. Everywhere Jake lived, they devalued it and poisoned it with drugs and gang culture.
Yeah.
So you're the problem. It's not us. You're the fucking problem. We didn't come off the plantation with guns and fucking drugs. You had guns being the fucking wild west boys trying to fucking run wild chewing fucking tobacco.
But they ain't need no gun license back then.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't need no gun license back then, though, right? They had the right. They had the, what is that? The what amendment is that? The second amendment. The bear arm. They just grab a pistol, put it on their side, and they good. You know what I mean?
And the original cowboys were so-called legal.
Yeah.
You know? But they took that shit too.
Yeah.
You know, and to land back on what the body was saying, now these Edomites are starting to feel what we felt. And now they're starting to blame shift or trying to blame shift again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because when the housing market is bad, which it is right now, it's happening in their neighborhood. Jake ain't got to move in for it to be devalued. It's being devalued from y'all. You know, y'all kids are using drugs. They're not using y'all money wisely to build the legacies. Y'all neighborhoods are crumbling. So now that you look at a regular Edomite neighborhood, you can't tell the difference from that. The house might be a little bigger, but you can't tell the difference from the environment there and what Jake lives. Because you got pups walking around through that neighborhood too. Yeah. So they starting to feel the effects of dying and cutting.
He said just know how to hide it. That's the difference. You know, Jake, Jake be opening the scene, but he does everything on the inside.
See, but Esau has actually fell into the culture. You know, Esau has actually landed in Jake's culture, where like a lot of these young kids are actually following after Jake. You know, and the parents don't know what to do. You know,
they become obsessed with it. You see it on TikTok, dances, playing, the maneuver. It's like their kids are become, which it's normal because we're living in a time now where you can see what's going on throughout the whole world. So you got the young groups and the young Ishmaelites, everybody looking at these young Jakes, Jake style, and they want to be that. Yeah. So that's what they kids do. Like, our kids are using our money to just squander it to be like that. You go to these cars, go to a concert, you see white boys saying with Jordans on. Yeah. But he's a trust fund baby. He's not taking his father's money to build something. He's cornering that. And that goes back to what Solomon said, all is vanity. Because if I die, if I leave my substance to myself, what makes shit with me?
Like I said, don't forget, even like that, when you're saying they believe in that yellow spirit, that one life. Like you said, that's why they're going hard, and, having crack parties and all that stuff.
You see, but there was also a time when Esau was very conservative with their money. They was conservative with their money, their time, and anything that they did. Esau was happy buying a $25 pair of shoes towards their kids, and their kids were content. But after seeing Jake spending $400 or $500 on a pair of shoes, they fell into that culture. They fell into it. And so now that's the problem, or that's one of the problems that Esau is having right now. To the young generation.
We were known as the big consumers. Even though we didn't have shit, but we would take our little money we have to deal with the pain and just consume. But now Esau's children's doing that. They're consuming. It ain't just Jake being the only ones being the biggest consumer. Edomites are consuming out the wazoo. Amazon, TikTok shop, Instagram shop, because everybody's being fed through the social media. So the economy is just being drained. No money's being put back in the economy. in a good way. It's just being taken strip, and everything's being divided.
You'd be surprised how much Esau, I'm talking about like them 6 figures and a nice house, how much they in debt, man. They in like millions of hundreds
Oh,
of
and
dollars
in
in
the
debt.
Bush community, look at these kids. They drive these big, nice Lamborghinis. Drive these Lamborghinis. Why don't I want to be like this guy?
Yeah, he
So they use their trust fund money.
Yeah.
You like these streamers.
You couldn't make this up.
Just like you right there.
You could not make this up at all. You know, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. You know, because you thought that your kingdom was gonna last forever, and now you went ahead and you let your own fucking people fall.
Damn.
Your own people fall.
That's their kingdom too.
That's how Jake used to look in you know, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah, bro, that's it. You know, that's how Jake used to live in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, and now it's dead. Jake is doing better than him.
Hey, go show you that's the point right there. You get plenty of it, especially in Baltimore, Maryland, all them. You know, certain places which will look like a third world country on YouTube. You see them all the time. That shit crazy.
Wow, that ain't regular.
Go to your point, like y'all. If a brother can give Ezekiel, what's that? 25th chapter, 36th chapter. It talks about Esau. 25th chapter. Matter of fact, you have to get the second chapter. That's better. Have to get chapter 2. Wherever this man goes, when you go back to the history of Mount Seir, the way you see them living now, is the way they've always lived. You know, a very low level way of living. You know, it was only that the Lord lifted them up. Instead of say he raised up the base bearers and everything. He gave them power. He put them in power. See, that shows you how powerful the Lord is. That he can raise up an extra cave. They know who they are. They got an insurance company, the cavemen, you know, they got the Flintstones. They know their history. That the Neanderthals, they go into it. They know who they were. Booger man. But the Lord was able to lift them up and put them in the seat, made them seasons and emperors and presidents. And you would think that they're better than you because, look how they speak English. That's bastard language. And then the English that they're speaking is not even the king's English. You go to England, they speak a whole different type of English because the settlers that came over here to Virginia, so-called landed on Plymouth Rock, they weren't speaking the same. They were the undesirable.
Dutch.
Yeah, so fuck that. You look at them and think, oh, they're proper because they wear suits and they speak.
But look what they got to do to clean themselves up, though. They got razors to their body, face, neck. They got to shave all that shit off. You know, they got to go to tanning beds and, you know, they got to do a whole process just to look civilized, so-called civilized.
Sunburn cream. You ever been in that? What sunburn cream is
The
reason this whole sunburn cream, products to ship. That's unnatural.
Moose, they got to put mousse in their hair to keep it out their face. They don't put that mousse or that gel. That should be all, they looking like damn dogs. You know, the dogs that be having shit.
Women with their bad hair, like woman with this bad hair, like all straight. It's fucking disgusting, man.
And then
you can't even put in our hair. You can put oils in it, and it'll loosen up. It'll oil. Yeah, they shit they just straight. There's no life. There's no fucking life to it, man.
That's why they got lights for a reason.
Oh, that's going to be Lord willing, sooner than later, where you belong, man. But going back to the point, he has used, like you say, y'all find our heart to see. His authority has made him forget who he truly is. And then the lowest of the earth, man.
Basement.
Yeah. And these Eastern nations know that. They know who the fuck you are. That's why they don't fucking respect you.
Oh, you will go to that deli bar on the corner and ask them who we are. And they'll tell you. See? They'll tell you, yeah, you guys are the Israelites.
They know who they are.
Yeah, right. They know who they are, but they know who we are, but they won't tell you who. You know, I looked at these motherfuckers one day. I said, well, why don't you tell the people who they are? And just when I said that, a nigga woman walked in ordering a ham and bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
From the Ishmael Deli?
From that same spot over there. He was like,
they going off too. They ain't supposed to be.
He was like, see? I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as she told me,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, you right.
Early in the morning, eating that shit. But they know. They've always known.
Yeah. But like I said, they're not gonna acknowledge us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the low right now, we're in captivity. You know what I'm saying? We don't got no power.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Con. And you know, these YNs don't help the situation any.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, they actually perpetuate their reasoning towards us. You know, the thing is, they generalize us all. You know, they put us all in one basket. They could clearly see that there's distinctions between the camps, but they're going to generalize us as one person. You know,
Yeah.
They know who the YNs are. They know who's trying to do the right thing based upon the laws of the kingdom. But it ain't gonna matter, you know, because in the time of Jacob's trouble, hey,
But you got,
why don't it be the same shit?
but you got to realize, well, not you, but people got to realize they know that we're their adversary.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do what they got to do to keep us, you know, to be up on the scoreboard.
Sounds 83.
You know, why would they truly want to help us out if they know who we are and they know who they are? You know what I
Which
mean?
goes back to the point. Don't make us feel bad. Don't try to make us feel bad about us standing up for ourselves.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they voted against saying what Jake went through is the worst thing ever on earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though they know it, but they know who we truly are, so they got to keep us underneath their boots.
Yeah,
You know what I
Psalms
mean?
83, like you said.
Yeah, it's happy council.
Yeah. As long as they
Yeah, they
keep us
voted-
down, whatever.
They voted against
Argentina.
they voted against reparations and they acknowledging it. And some of them voted and saying we have
And it's crazy that they said Argentina,
Two nations did that.
Argentina.
Argentina, America, and Israel.
Yeah, they came out and said, "Yo,
It's good pronounce. But you know what's crazy is the spirit though, because the other day they had a breakdown on YouTube of how Argentina was. Argentina used to be hella Jake.
Yeah.
And they pushed them out of Argentina. So now it's mad at them people.
Mad at them,
Issues. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that I was wondering like, what Argentina say no? But now, like you said, there's a lot of them.
Mhm.
So they know who we are. What hell yeah? They're gonna be like, nah, hell no.
all those countries make up what? The beast system. If you look at that whole list, it's the dragon.
Yeah.
It's the dragon that goes to Revelation.
You know they from Philly, right?
It's going against the child of the woman. So what they know?
That's the fucking dragon. They fucking breathing fire on that. He just told me. He said, not a who
Benjamin.
brother is running Argentina.
Yeah, it is.
And all his history is out. I didn't know this dude was from Philly. They broke down his real name, transferred it over, and he's from Philadelphia, yeah.
You see,
It changed because they Polish. Yeah. They Polish.
Well, none of them are.
No, we know that. We know that. My point is, it's at the point now because they used to hide that shit. Now all you gotta do is go on YouTube and they'll show you they show his high school picture, his real name. Well, like, come on.
Hey, that nation started in 1940s. How many of them could actually be? The only ones that actually can say, "Oh, I was born in Israel." They like fucking. Come on, man! You ain't got no generations there.
and to land back on what brothers were saying about Argentina, they know what's going to happen over in our land. They know. So what they've been trying to do for a long time was create a settlement in Argentina for all of them to go because of what's going to happen over there. And a lot of them,
makes sense.
No, it's not just Argentina. It's a couple other places.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm saying because they said before they got the 48, before they got there to the land, they were trying to go everywhere else and was getting pushed out because they were trying to take over shit.
Yeah.
So then they said, all right, we got here, now we there. You know what I mean? They've been trying to do this before they even got there.
That's why when shit happens, they use their dual citizenship.
That's crazy.
They use the country, and they can be a citizen where they came from. A lot of them have dual citizenship. So when shit get hectic out there, I'm gonna go back to my native country.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they so fucking wicked and it's so fucking in your face that it's laughable. But I'll go to what you started off with, our people don't even consider the basic things that they should be considered. You know, we have no home. It's not our home. We should not be working these fucking jobs. We're tired of these fucking jobs.
No, we're really
Working for them.
yeah.
That's what the young generation are. They're not fucking working. We're gonna rob niggas. We're gonna scheme.
Yeah.
And if I can't be a streamer or do some shit, so I'm too wrong. I'm working fucking 9 to 5 and get paid every 2 weeks. It's inhumane. It's not natural.
And the C19 made that even easier for them. Remember, C19, everything was shut down. So they had to think of different ways. That's when the streaming really popped off. So now think about it. They wasn't punching the clock, and now they coming into adulthood. What the fuck I'm gonna punch the clock for when I could do this lick real quick and get this, get what you make in 2 weeks. I'm making 1 day. You know what I mean?
Working, you have no time.
Social media.
You have no time for yourself. Life
Great
is
time.
supposed to be. And that's why everybody's drugged up, bugged out,
Yeah.
sexual addicts,
Yeah.
trying to cope with the wildness of the society. And it's falling. It's falling. America cannot last at this rate that it's moving. People are tired of it. People are depressed and down. People are
Flash it out. Again, pressure make a wise man mad. Like you said, that's why we seen a video about the Edomite, got mad and he started flooding up the toilet paper at the job.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah.
All you had to do was give us a living wage. Give us a raise. They don't care about us. They lit the whole thing. Oh, shit. All you had to do was care about us. Give us a raise. Yeah.
Yeah.
He recorded us out. You saw?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Then he showed his face, but
He was recording on his phone. He lit that whole shit on fire.
he was like, wait till it's bro.
That was a big factor too.
Yeah, what? Mind, that's even when that's easy. That's easy. Like you said, he don't give a damn. Nope. He, like I said, he will blow everything up. Again, he should be a man. It's
Yeah, you got countries where you only work like 3 days out of the week. They have time slots where they'll go to work in the morning, but then they'll leave during the day.
Nipsey also said that when he went to Eritrea, because he coming from L.A., South Central, gang banging, and he went with his father to Eritrea, him and his brother. And he said it was such a culture shock because he said the kids would go to school and a noise would go off, and everybody would leave to go home to eat lunch together. You would leave work, your kids would meet you at home, and you sit down and have lunch. That's very family structure. We ain't got that shit.
Even that simple ideology that's having supper. It's in the scriptures, supper with your woman and kid. That is very, very, very vital to the relationship of the family. Because it's about conversation and dialogue and all what's going on with everybody's mental state and just bonding. That has been stripped from just culture in general. The average American family does not dinner together. Kids are doing whatever the fuck they're doing. The parents are doing whatever the fuck they're doing. Nobody, the mother cooking dinner and then setting the table with the daughters and everybody coming down and sitting at the table and waiting for father to eat at the head. That has completely been wiped from the
And then they say if they do a little bit, some will be on their phone.
When you go to these new apartments, they don't even have the room for the table.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Remember back then, that apartment had at least a little joint where you go to the table and sit.
Yeah.
You go to people, even if it has it, they'll make that room something else. That little room, you don't see no table.
Some man came to our office.
But there is still families that eat that have that long table and they sit down and talk while they eating.
It has to be something mandated by the father in the household. Because without that, basically your family is supposed to be like a little army, militia. So where you build such a bond in the household throughout the world, everybody's gonna defend each other no matter what. Because there's a code of honor, there's morals and laws and instituted on down to the family. So something happens to the brother, the sister intervenes, something happens to the sister, brother intervenes, something happens to the father. But everybody's gonna die for each other. Because when y'all leave that house, y'all are leaving y'all fortitude. It's fortress. Instead, people leaving these houses and the mother don't even know this. Children, father don't know what's going on with the mother because she got a work husband that everybody's basically with enemies. You become the enemy in your own household. Nobody knows each other. Everybody's being raised by society and what they're dealing with in their own personal lives. That's why support is so instrumental. So when you do come back from the world, you're able to drop their homes and learn off from each other and move each other back into the moral principles of what matters. That's the Lord. So without that, it's goes on. This shit is insane, man. America leads in murders, America leads in gun usage, America leads in car accidents, America leads in almost every single detrimental thing on the earth.
Depression, like that, suppression, repression,
Depression, yeah.
oppression.
Yeah.
People
There's
are
a
saying,
lot of press.
Yeah.
when you leave America,
It's like, no, we can't
people,
take it.
you watch them vlogs on YouTube. People that live in that, they be like, I'm not coming because it's just a sense of you can feel the darkness when you land in this business.
Nah,
right?
you
I'm
can.
telling you, you can actually feel it. When you know something, you can feel the lightness of people being more
Friendly.
family oriented and more community based. You can feel it. You just feel something different. It's like this. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but you can still feel what better of what the other countries have. Here, it's darkness, bro. It's all just money based, chasing man.
When you go to these hockey stores, as they say,
Yeah,
you can see the depression on hockey that's behind the counter. He watching some news from his country. He like this, looking like, what you want? Basically, like, you go to the bus. You know what I mean? Because they want to get out of here. They only here to send his money back to whatever country they looking at. You know what I'm saying?
This Habakkuk chapter 2, starting at verse 1, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And that's what you see. He's heaped everybody into this melting pot. Everybody got the spirit of oppression on them because of what comes with America. The valley of the shadow of death. The valley represents the dry bones. The valley is America. Shadow of death, where it's told people, number one country with murder and death. The valley of the shadow of death. The darkness. Nobody knows they made it. Everybody's anxious. Cautious. Who's who? You know, and you're in the roads and people are putting you off, cursing you out. It's just all just evil and just filling. Can't live healthy. That's why people are sick, stressed, and anxiety.
Immune system down.
Like I say, because America has become one big project because the Lord has allowed all the devil and other nations to drink of the cup. Because at first, like I was going into, it was just the black community when he destroyed it, the community, the family structure and everything. But now it's seeped out into the rest of the other heathens and the devils and everything. And now America has become one big project. It wasn't nobody saying nothing when it was just Jake in the hoods and everything being destroyed. But now everywhere you go in America is like projects, man.
Especially when Brad got a hold of opiates. It was cool when Tyleek was getting high, but when Brad
Exactly.
and Scott started going to college and now they ODing off of Xannies and all that, then now it's a epidemic. Before it was just a project, like you said, to see how these niggas behave. Because in Harlem back in the day when crack came out, they sat there and watched. I mean, they literally had like check cashing lines, and they had the dope man right here. They just police riding by, don't give a fuck. But now that Brad and Jill and them having them, it's an issue.
It's harming their lineage and the political system is being made a mockery of. Got this guy, Kirk, his wife
Yeah.
She came out and said she's mad that Drewski made a skit about her that went viral. Everybody's making fun of her because they're saying she murdered her, well, had a hand in setting her husband up. She was his handler. People didn't even know that she was his handler and in control of all the finances and shit. But she does an interview. You can see the darkness on her.
Yeah, you can tweet it. That's tweet it.
But you might say she believes in that whole the foundation. I forgot the name of the foundation.
Foundation Heritage or something. Heritage
It's
Foundation.
another name.
It's a Christian organization.
But they were funding it for money because the Republican Party, all these people that believe it, they finding out like, oh, they're spitting on faces like Trump. Even Trump is saying no new wars, but start shit with Iran. They doing fake assassination attempts that look fake. You look at the video, like see that it's orchestrated, and then people are looking at this on TikTok. They're like, everything I believe in. I was listening to one guy. He said, "Man, I voted Republican. I was buying to like Trump." I don't know. They're feeling the blood of it right now.
Still betrayed. Because this man hasn't given you anything that he said he would. He said he would give you a wall. He said that he would give you lower food prices, lower gas prices, low
Bring back jobs.
Everything, low medical bills, low everything. But everything that he promised that he would give you, he went ahead and did the opposite on.
Yeah.
And then they go and take other lands and other people's goods, and then they profit from it. Because the words out of his mouth is, we're going to make a lot of money. But it's not the people making money. It's his people making money. I mean,
that's why you see the stock market. As soon as they say something, about the oil, stock market. Because the people that don't send it, no, you pulling out, putting in at the right people. Like you said.
Yeah, what he said. Then he said he's gonna lower gas, but what he said once the gas go up, just go up.
yeah.
No, ain't that what you do?
When you look at his net income from the time he got in to date, it's gone up billions. But when you look at the net income of your average day so-called Americans, it's gone down thousands. The people are in poverty.
So literally, before he was president, we all know Trump was a businessman, a money man.
Yeah.
So all they had to do was pump some good. We'll make you richer than you. You like making money from like investments. We're gonna let you in the know of everything. Play the game and sit in this goddamn seat. He went in, he's playing a fucking role. The president never has been in charge of anything. The bankers run the country, man.
All wars are banker wars.
Yeah, but they got to slap him on the wrist because he's so proud and boastful. I know they tell him like, all right, calm down. You put a little too much on it this time.
You're right, you're a little saucy with that.
Yeah, he pushing people up the way.
Yeah. It's my president. That's my
You see, but a lot of Americans like
That's
that
funny.
because
I said
that's their mindset.
Make America great.
We're
Right.
That's right. We should be.
He fed into the. It shows you. That's why he must have given to the journal. See, all he did was feed into the pride of the low level leader party.
Yeah, it's over.
You said I like him dumb. He said I like him dumb.
You're probably
Yeah, he went on the Atlanta. He said, because people from there, he used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
He said, if I ever was to run for president, I would run as a Republican. They would believe everything I said. He said that as a businessman.
You know, you got the trailer park rig there.
To the point, they questioned. I know once somebody just saw this, the guy was asking, what do they think about Trump? And they was like, yeah, we love Trump. And it was this old Edomite. He had the red hat on. He said, well, he said, why do you love Trump? He said, because he did everything he said he would do. He said, well, what did he do? He said, you stood me on that one. So that's my point. Yeah, he got him by the hook.
The one thing that I would say that he actually did going in, or did start going in, was he cut government jobs. He cut waste suspension.
Yeah, he did. He did, man.
But he cut it for Jake.
Mhm.
You know, he cut out a lot of things for, and that's why you Jake's there for it.
Mhm.
Because a lot of the things that you leaned upon, he cut out.
Mhm.
You know what? May 1st, they cut EBT benefits
Gotta work out.
yet again.
Wow.
Gotta work out.
Yeah, right. Yet again.
And that's even some of Esau.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't cut them all, you know they're gonna put a hurting on them. They
Yes,
might
sir.
get a little bit, you know.
Like you said, you know, the majority of ones that on West are Edomites.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Especially like in West Virginia or, you know, some states
The
that
trailer park.
yeah, basically that you don't know about in these certain states,
Yeah.
unknown states.
Yeah, because they only pump the metropolitan areas
Yeah.
on the news.
Yeah.
See
What about Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Kentucky, Iowa, like it's a lot of poor ass Edomites that's racking up. And then you got the issues
Those
in a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
those
East Coast, yeah, that's crazy.
those poquito sombreros.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
A lot of them are on it.
It's the issue. That's crazy. You find that out.
Running to the ponds, snatching the coins out the wishing well.
That wish ain't gonna pass.
They like
Whisper.
yeah, they like Pac-Man, you know. Super Mario.
So the way they look at it, we're chosen, the government serves us.
Mhm.
So this is our benefits.
Yeah.
That's why they take it.
Yeah.
They don't actually need it like
No.
Big need.
They
They just take it because they greedy.
They were promised
That-
that,
that was-
2,000 years ago.
That was one of their that was one of their handles that they used to call them back then, that they were penny pinchers.
Yeah,
Stitch.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Take everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's in they spray. Well, you gotta go there. I think it's gonna read it. It's gonna call it station.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, starting verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
That's what we're going into. No, it's coming back to bite you in the ass, man. How long until it destroys you, it corrupts you? The one he saw his grandchildren, I got his name. His name means gold is my God.
Wow.
Really? That was grandchild. That's all? No. Huh? That's all? No. It's
Oh,
no.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but his name actually means God, gold is my God. You know? It shows you how calm he saw. You look at him today, he'll have a whole bunch of $100,000 in his savings. That ain't enough. He don't want to touch that. He want to take Eliphaz. That's but what if names have meaning? Lord didn't just put that there for no reason. What does he do? He goes to Africa, tries to take all the gold. They still do. We'll provide y'all with it. You won't do us. But let us dig up gold. That's why that woman was saying, we're gonna deal with Russia. Ibrahim, he said, we're gonna deal with Russia. Bring America the fuck out of our way.
Mhm.
If you come fuck with us, Russia gonna deal with you because we let them take our gold. But you're still pimping yourself out. So this is what that whole independent shit. Cause you're not independent. You still get pimped out.
I think
You know,
it's-
Them niggas ain't even got a concrete road. They still trying to build a highway. They got their own roads. We got that. But they're using the money, the resources that Russia is giving them to start building
like
the cities and highways. But they get that shit. Need the kingdom. Need the fucking kingdom. You got China over there pimping land. Russia, you know, Iran. Taking, like, you know, shit. Niggas tell you, we can live that. What the fuck you not? And if you don't do any of these European nations, you're gonna end up like me, or you're gonna end up like you. No lights for weeks, can barely get tissue paper. Then when Russia try to send you shit aid, America puts a blockade on it in the Panama Canal. That's what's been going on in Cuba. Lights been, they ain't got that on American news. Lights been fucking out.
Yeah.
Can't even get Russia got the ships in the water. American Navy blocked it. He said, "Man, they gonna come out daddy. Till they been the needed daddy, they're gonna starve. They're gonna be in the lifetime. I want your independence from black people. That's what comes with independence. You're under the curses, man. You can't find one generation that is independent thrive. You either pimping yourself out or you below the poverty line, living in fucking can houses, man. Martyr amongst nations. To the want of all things. Because we can't send them shit, man. Shit, we got. But I'm afraid to we don't have shit. That's what we mean when we say
Verse 7, Habakkuk chapter 2 says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall fight thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for bootings unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth in evil concovetousness. Woe to him that coveteth in evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
His house. His house, like his whole seed.
The covenant is the one something that's not yours. Anything that you covenant lives inheritance. I'm going back to Jacob.
You could tell you not to cover thy neighbor.
One back when Lump said they all changed their names to these Yiddish Hebrew names. All of them changed their names. Yeah, they got Germanic, European names and changed them. Hide themselves.
Verse 10 says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul.
Who did he call? Who's the many people? We don't have no name. We still learning Hebrew, still learning, our customs, we cut everything off this, man. That has never been done to any other nation on the planet, where they lost everything. Language, culture, land, identity. People, other nations have been forms of slavery, but never lost their identity. Never lost their language. Never lost what power they worship. When you do that, you lost. Oh, he was in slavery too. He wasn't in chattel slavery. He wasn't forced to learn English language and forced to learn accept Christianity. Doing a whole different. And to this day, we still celebrate these certain days, worship these deities, and partake in these holidays that are forced upon us, man. We live on their calendar. We go by what they gave us.
When you're see the voice on the sea, we have shut the down room. It was that time.
Verse 11, Habakkuk chapter 2, it says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of Yahweh of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity.
When you said on Covenant Rock, you didn't consider the letter N. All the wars that you did with Dad, all the bloodshed, you didn't consider what was going to happen, and now you're seeing the results of it. Really, the reason why everything's happening in America is what you did. Just the apple of the Lord's eye. You didn't consider the end result, what you were doing. Now we're finally here. The water you have us shout it. We're seeing you down. What better reward is a man than get to see the fall of his enemy? I love seeing motherfuckers cry. Cry some more. There's nothing compared to what happened to our fucking people.
Verse 14, For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh as the waters cover the
And
sea.
everything we gonna take care of too, man. The other thing about that show, it's called Florida. They got some good looking fucking some of them brunette Germanic women that's posing as Israelis.
Yeah.
And they got
Yeah, no man, I'm really not think like that.
there's no all the schools that's good to us. All the skinny blonde, which I can
This is Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5. It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. Verse 8 says, the envious man that have a wicked eye, he turneth away his face and depresseth men.
That basically telling you, yo, if he seem like he doing something nice for you, I mean, he got something going on in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
Him doing that shit from the bottom of his heart because he's Mr. Can't Get Right.
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2:4, he brought up the soul's not upright within him.
Yeah.
So if he does something, trust me, it's an ulterior motive. Bro.
Yeah. That's why you got all these plans, all like dental plans
Yeah,
and some of this
yeah.
stuff like that. You think it's good for you, or it's you sign a contract, or you make a deal. Just like, for example, like in Shark Tank, whatever. Just remember real quick, Jake, I guess had a business with a some type of lotion, whatever, buttercream, whatever. Of course, he was talking to talking to three guys, whatever. Pretty much, the bald-headed the famous one that always be sitting down, what I'm saying, with the smart, that look like Emma Kite motherfucker, and
Shark Tank.
yeah. Basically, I guess he wanted 2% royalty, and then he wanted gratuity, and also he wanted more. But then Jake came and he said, you know what, I'm gonna make you a deal that you can't refuse. Now, mind you, they were both from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So they knew how to rep. Whenever he said, I'll give you something better, He said, I'll take it. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he took the better offer because he know Jake. But he, like you said, he wanted more.
Yeah, right. There's always a favor with, if I do this for you, there's an underlying understanding that I'm gonna need you to do something for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna get more.
There's no, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always, you gotta have to do something for me.
Remember
Yeah, usually in every fucking,
remember the DMX
interest. Credit, you take a credit, you got 18%, 20%.
DMX in his first 3 albums, that's when he was real popular. He had a song where he was talking to Damon, and then every one, Damon's trying to give him riches. He's like, yo, but every time you do that, I gotta do this on the back end. That's basically because DMX was throwing shots at the industry, and we know who runs the industry. Talking about them, you know what I mean?
He throw on the truth before you do it. Yeah. Told me the truth. He said, I'm gonna give you the truth, he probably knew DMX was in the phone with the rapper. Yeah. Now, DMX, I'm talking about him. Nah, he ran a girl, ICK. They gave him the places now. He ain't had to know about the market.
is that ISUPK or HOI?
It was Atlanta. It was HOI. The man is super brutal. That nigga put a fucking wrenches on a mat.
Yeah, because ultimately the devil is just really doing everything he's been created to do, and he's our enemy. He's here to kill, to steal, kill, and destroy. And we, all of his wickedness is being exposed and everything, and we're the only ones crying out and hastening the return of Yahweh. That's why Yahweh, that's why the Lord has said, who will stand for me? Because we're the only ones that want to stand in righteousness. And this is Psalms 94 and 16. It says, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's going into the only ones that's going to stand. That's going into the hopeful elect. You know, that's going into that remnant that the Lord has set aside. They're the only ones that are gonna take that stance. You know, Jake see everything that's wickedness and going on, but they still not, you know, they still willing to live in this system. Ain't nobody really trying to, you know, we pushing the downfall of this place. You know, Jake not trying to hear that, so that's why they can see everything, all the wickedness and everything going on, but they don't really want to speak on it and everything because they really love it here secretly.
See, but Jake don't even realize he's doing wickedness.
Right.
Jake don't even realize he's being wicked because Jake doesn't know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, the way we do, you know, because we try to live by the scriptures and, you know, to the best of our ability. Jake ain't doing it. Jake think that he's in the right, you know what I'm saying? Because Jake's got this mindset of, you know, Christianity, you know what I'm saying? God is going to forgive me no matter what, you know? So even though Jake sees what's going on, Jake doesn't understand what's going on because that wasn't imparted to him. So yet and still, at the end of the day, Jake is going to be held accountable for hearing this word and not abiding to the word.
Which they don't created his thing. That comes with his, you know, we don't see it. We've been given this truth, going into, but they don't have that spiritual eyesight. They don't have that wisdom. So hey, they literally just walk in the earth. You know, that started. As we started at Second Ezra chapter 9. You know, they gonna know death by faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the brother said, you know, Jake is like a dumb sheep. Sheep need to be led. You know, Jake don't know who their shepherd is. You know, going into he's saying they don't know Yahushua. Jake don't know, so they just being led to the slaughter. So going into that, Jake don't know who his enemy is. That's why I like this enemy is never going to give you any peace. It's never going to give you any rest. That's why we're telling you to turn back to your power. We're trying to, you know, get Jake to understand who their power is, but Jake, you know, not trying to hear none of this. That's why he said he's gonna feel it by pain.
Satisfied. No.
Esau ain't satisfied with it. But Jacob has become just as willing for Esau. So even Jake's happy with fucking doing. Land back in the year 2 you pulled up, bro.
So we pray this lesson is edifying through the knowledge, power, and wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You can turn to the east, give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Double on to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh, yeah.